Hello, I'm Tim O'Leary. King County provides regional services to millions of people every day, like transportation, the court system, and public health. And at King County, we're always at your service. Are you looking for a greener way to get around? Well, try one of King County's new electric trolleys. As Kimberly Hill tells us, they're air-conditioned and completely emission-free.
Next time you hop on a trolley in Seattle, you may notice something new. A new color and all new, all-electric coaches. Metro is replacing its old trolley fleet.
For the first time in 30 years, riders on King County Metro will enjoy completely new electric trolley coaches. They're state-of-the-art, and they will be traveling throughout downtown Seattle and nearby neighborhoods.
Some of Metro's older coaches have been on the road for decades. They've been refurbished and rebuilt many times, but have become outdated. Now they'll be decommissioned. The new 174 replacement trolleys will be phased in over the next 2 years. The new fleet will use up to 30% less energy, and they come with air conditioning, passenger-activated back doors, and best of all, the ability to go offline.
Trolleys are great because they're clean and they're quiet, but they have the disadvantage of having to stay on a particular route because that's where the wires are. So if a vehicle is broken down, if there's a construction project going on, if there's a street protest, they're stuck. They can't back up, they can't go around the block. Now they'll be able to lower the wires and go a different route to be able to get to their destination.
And there's another innovation on the scene, a new prototype electric fast-charging battery bus. It can travel up to 23 miles between charges, and it only takes about 10 minutes to recharge.
As battery technology continues to improve, the future more and more is going to be all electric vehicles. They may not work in every single environment, but they can work in a lot of different environments. That means quiet buses that are less expensive to maintain, and the buses that use a lot less energy, and buses that do not emit any carbon emissions. That's our future.
A battery charging station is set up at the Eastgate Park and Ride in Bellevue. 3 of the prototype buses will be tested on different routes. The new technology is designed to increase transit, serve more riders, with fewer carbon emissions.
How are the roads where you live? Unfortunately, some of the roads in unincorporated King County are in pretty bad shape. In fact, a few may have to close down.
King County maintains about 1,500 miles of roads and 181 bridges. It's a critical transportation system that supports more than 1 million trips every day. People traveling to work, school, recreation, and businesses. And emergency responders reaching people who need help. People from all parts of the county and beyond use these roads, but the system for funding them no longer works. After nearly 3 decades of annexations and declining tax revenues, there isn't enough money coming in to pay for maintenance. In fact, the funding gap is estimated at $260 million a year.
We will have roads that are not going to be able to be used. Some will go to gravel. Some will be completely closed. We have bridges that we are looking at changing the weight-bearing capacity, some that will be closed. That is not okay.
So what will happen to this $40 billion transportation asset? A new Bridges and Roads Task Force is working on recommendations for funding and fixing the roads. To find out more, visit kingcounty.gov/council.
It was a tragic event. A lone gunman opened fire on the Seattle Pacific University campus in June of 2014. It claimed the life of 1 student and it injured 3 others. The university had to exercise its emergency preparedness plan during the shooting. That plan and the Seattle Pacific University community is now being recognized as a shining example of what to do in an emergency.
In 2014, this peaceful campus was rocked by a deadly shooting. Confessed killer Aaron Ybarra came here armed with a shotgun. He killed 19-year-old student Paul Lee and injured 2 more students.
We remember what happened here, the tragic loss of a young life and the impact on so many others. We also remember the heroes who acted quickly and with great courage. And we remember how this community came together in support of each other in the aftermath of that tragedy.
Now the university is being honored with the Executive's Award for Community Preparedness. It's intensive training of staff and volunteers.
Essence of the plan is everybody needs to know it. Everybody needs to know what their role is.
From CPR to yearly evacuation training to lockdown drills.
The campus also has a state-of-the-art rapid electronic communication system with near-instant messaging by email, text, and electronic message boards.
You have to prepare for any scenario that you can imagine. And so to go through various scenario planning measures to make sure that whatever event you could face, if it's occurred somewhere else, it's a likelihood that it could occur where you're at.
Community preparedness, when seconds matter.
Are you interested in becoming a volunteer? You could make a huge difference in a child's life. Become a court-appointed special advocate, or CASA.
Children need love and stability, but in King County, there are more than 1,200 kids separated from their families because of abuse or neglect. Many are in foster care while their futures are sorted out in court. But in Washington, they also have someone else looking out for them, a court-appointed special advocate, or CASA.
We say that a CASA is a voice of the child. We do the speaking for the child. We observe the children, we talk to the children, we visit their schools, we talk to their families, and we get a sense of what's going to be best for the child in the long run.
But CASAs are volunteers, and there aren't enough. Sometimes as many as 300 kids are waiting to be matched. The need is great, especially in diverse communities.
We need the diversity, and we need men. We need role models. We need male role models for our children. When I go into a home, sometimes the parents are so happy to see me, so shocked to see me, because I can relate to their culture. I like the fact that I'm helping not only children, but I'm helping families, in most cases, get back together, helping the children get what we call a safe and stable environment.
Men can reach out to a male child and be a role model and be a safe and secure person to talk to. We like that our advocates reflect the children that they're serving.
We want to tell the children that we do positive things, that we do great things. Please get out there, become a CASA, work with the children, and show them that men are great.
To find out more, email beacasa@kingcounty.gov or call 206-477-4245.
When you think about home, do certain words come to mind? How about poetry? Jeff Gentis takes us on a tour of poems about home, and you'll find them in some unexpected places.
If you're a regular bus rider here in King County, you may have noticed your daily commute has a more homey feel. It's all part of a huge public art campaign organized by King County's For Culture called Poetry on Buses. And what you see displayed in a bus might go something like this.
We are home and away, in windows and doors. We are strangers and friends, distant yet near. We are the wind's rival, howling toward home.
having poems in our bodies, sort of experiencing what poems can do, and then getting to know people. Whether you're going to be sitting on the bus and looking up and reading somebody's poem and seeing a little bit of yourself, or maybe seeing something that's totally unlike you and feeling maybe an opportunity to connect with them.
The theme of the county-wide campaign is Riding Home.
What is the first image when I say the word home? What do you see?
Community engagement with this year's Poetry on Buses began in spring of 2014 with a series of neighborhood gatherings, especially reaching out to Somali, Vietnamese, Russian, and Spanish-speaking communities. This group turned a poem into a song, a creative way to really raise their collective voice, a main goal of the Poetry on Buses project.
It is a surprise to me that we don't have a stronger voice in all that is happening here in Seattle.
An Phan was one of the key organizers in the Vietnamese community.
To make sure that we do have a stronger voice in everything.
Whenever I thought of home, I feel like I loved my parents even more for all the hard work they did when we were young.
Memories. Before age 11, home was an old wooden house. Dad just came home, tired, sweaty, but smiling. Dinner is ready, everyone, Mom shouted. Days of innocence. We munched away happily. The greens and rice prepared by loving hands. Later, we fell asleep, listening to the rain. Drip, drop, drip, drop. Autumn Stirs Memories by Yan Lam. Autumn has arrived, here and there leaves of gold fall.
Here in a recording studio, Phan translates one of her community elders' poems, and the author performed her original poem in Vietnamese.
Mùa thu đến lá vàng rơi lác đác khắp mặt đường.
The melody of a first song vibrates through the cochlea's staircase. Return to whatever you never.
This is just one of dozens of English and multilingual poems recorded for the campaign.
Y regreso a esa nación que es mi hogar.
And that's out of hundreds of poems generated over the last several months. So many that the Poetry for Buses website is premiering a new poem each day for an entire year.
What's up, King County? Are y'all ready for some poetry?
At the November launch party, the Moore Theater was packed with people from all over King County who came together to hear the results of months of work.
Honestly, it boils down to two words: poetry and community. The buses have launched, the website has launched. Now people on their ride or people anywhere can listen to the poetic voices of King County.
Instant messenger. Don't let not knowing who to mail it to stop you from sending praise. Just drop gratitude anywhere, everywhere. It'll get where it's going.
Some of the poems were read. Some poems performed. And some poems were put to improvised music.
We too handsome.
So for all you riders out there, I want to let you know that your work is going to have significant exposure. And that's the big thing. We provide nearly 55,000 rides every single day on the Rapid Ride lines.
Poetry is now on the move in rapid ride buses crisscrossing King County. Select stations are homes to poems as well. Take time to drink in the words from so many walks of life.
Every summer, my parents would send me to Honolulu. Kick, kick, kick. Oh, sorry I kicked your seat back. The stewardess would bring me Cokes anyway, and a special Pan Am wing pin. Wheels down, aloha. The Hawaiian heat hugged me close. Grandma always greeted me with, "You come fat."
Thanks for joining us for King County at Your Service. I'm Tim O'Leary. If we can be of service to you, visit us at www.kingcounty.gov/KCTV. See you next time.